Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the podcast. We have some bad jokes. So if you don't like them, that's on you. We may not like them either. We don't know.
What's
the difference between God and Bono?
Oh, yeah. God doesn't walk around the streets of Dublin thinking he's Bono. What's the national sport of Ireland?
Drinking?
Yeah.
Yep, tasteless jokes. You're right.
Yeah, totally tasteless jokes.
I wanted to talk today about it appears to me that there's a phenomenon in this work, and I'm sure in many different ways it's come up again and again, but the phenomenon goes something like this. I will say for me, I'm assuming for John, he can say no if he wants, but I'm sure for me, pretty sure for John, that the benefit that I have gotten from doing consciousness work is bar none. It's incredible. It's freeing. It's empowering. The benefits are crazy, right? I'll just say that. And at the same time, it's almost like a paradox. At the same time, if I go for, well, first of all, I had to be convinced to do the work in the first place. It's like I didn't, like I've said before, I didn't care. I was into martial arts. I just did this other stuff. And then it's like I have to hear about the work. And then my approach to the work at the beginning is poor. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm full of beliefs. I'm full of fantasies, even though I tried my best to be honest about that. And I even heard at the beginning, your fantasies will get in the way. I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. Because if I'm fantasizing about something, it's not the thing, blah, 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 right? But I really didn't care about it. I was really uncomfortable at many times doing the work, like consciousness work. I ran into all kinds of crap that I have going on, right? But then I make breakthroughs, and then I'm sold. And then I get into it, and then I start making more breakthroughs, and then it's like, holy shit, this is amazing. But then still there's I could call it a trickiness about it, where in one way the work is so fucking cool, it's so amazing, and at the same time as it's amazing, when I try to do the work, if I try to do the work trying to get something that's good for me, I miss it. Like, and we have a whole thing in a workshop. It's like if I go for use and value, if I'm going for what's useful and valuable, I am predisposed to look in a certain direction toward what's useful and valuable to me, and I will miss the point. But it's the getting of the point that is the thing that is the mind blower. And the getting whatever it is not done by going for what I want. It's done by going for what's true. And there's this rub. And because to add to my laying of the land here, when people come in for workshops, and more I see this, and it's either getting really bad, or I'm getting more and more conscious, and or I've had more and more experience, so now I'm just seeing more and more of this phenomenon, and I'm like, oh, maybe that's just the norm. I wasn't noticing it so much. In either case, it's bad either way, because it's everywhere. When people are trying to approach the work, they're going for what they want without knowing it, and it gets in the way. Or they're going for a fantasy without knowing it, and it gets in the way. Or they're going for it, and they know it, and they just flat out not listening when the facilitator's like, hey, if you look for use and value and trying to get what you want, you're going to miss it because you're looking in the wrong place. So, or they're just blatant, but no, it's probably a bunch of ignorance. But I'm like, why does it need to be that way? Or why not need to be that way? Why is the current why is it that way currently?
Hmm.
And or what the fuck can we do about that? But then again, I don't see a way around it, because if I just look at me at the beginning, I'm like, holy smokes, what a shit show. I had to be told again and again. And then there's stories of teachers a millennia ago that sound very familiar to the kinds of struggles that I have with students today about the same kind of work, whatever. And the same, probably the same with learning anything, you know?
Did you ever get I remember you saying like you had a word for it, a term for it, but it's basically like a suspicion that something is going on here, quote unquote.
The wait a
Where you
minutes.
the wait a minutes, yeah, the wait
Yeah.
a
I've
minutes.
got a term for
Okay,
that.
so
The wait a minutes.
there you go, the wait a minutes. So I think until somebody gets the wait a minutes, until they get the wait a minutes, I don't even think it's really possible to start looking until you get the wait a minutes. Not like
And what he says,
seriously.
and what I think, yeah, it's thank you. It's like really looking, not like you can look, you will look right away. Immediately you'll start looking. But I think what I'm hearing, and I think we agree, is that there's looking, and then there's like there's really looking.
Yeah, because once you have the wait a minutes, you get really open.
Yeah.
Because you're like, oh, wait a minute, and that wait a minute is like what I thought was going on here is not what's going on here. Wait a minute, and then you start looking, because
Yeah.
prior to that, basically it's sort of like you already have your like catalog. Like I'm sitting here, I've got my like bookshelves and stuff, and I've got books back there, and it's sort of like I go through my bookshelves and I'm looking for what's in. I know it's in here somewhere. I'll find you the answer. Hold on. Like, who am I? Yeah, hold on, check. Yeah, I got it. Dude, just give me a sec. I got it here. All right.
Right.
And then I go looking through my shit. I know I've got it. I mean, I know I've got it. Obviously, I've got it. And then I'm looking and looking and looking and looking and looking and looking and looking. And wait a minute.
Right. You search all your known stuff, or all your stuff that you already have. You start
Mm.
there, but
Because
it's
where
not
else can
open.
you start?
Right.
It's not going to be so easy to jump to when you haven't looked. I mean, you might have some really good stuff on the shelf,
Oh yeah.
and
Be
you
real
need to look
interesting.
through that stuff.
Many times, even. You don't know.
Yeah, yeah. So I think that was for me. That was the benefit of being forced at gunpoint. No, I wasn't.
Not literally,
Um,
people.
That was the benefit of signing up for an apprenticeship, and it was a really good hook for me because I was a young man and I valued being a good martial artist. I saw clips of Peter doing really phenomenal stuff martial arts wise, and I just wanted to be that. I was already a guy who had pursued Tai Chi and Kung Fu and Aikido and other stuff. So it was already important to me, like for my identity, sort of. So,
Yeah.
and then there was the command, like, hey, you gotta sit your ass down and contemplate who you are and do some other contemplations too. And I basically, like, reluctantly at first, but
Yeah, same.
doing anything half-ass is really boring, so it becomes very, very painful. So if you're going to do it, you might as well do it like with
Full
intensity.
ass. Yeah.
Full ass, yeah. So I've started looking through my bookshelf basically of who am I, because doing it in a half-ass way was painful. So doing it with more intensity was more honest and less painful.
It
And by
is.
the end,
Yeah.
at a certain point, I got to the wait a minutes, and then once I had the wait a minutes, nobody had to make me contemplate anymore
Same.
because it bothered me.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and if you don't have that openness, I think it's difficult to um, go there. But maybe you're not like an apprentice and you don't want to be a martial arts guy and you don't care about that. Maybe
Yeah.
you want to be an enlightened guy or a genius guy or something like that. And I could see that as being a little bit more tricky in some ways, because those other self images are kind of intellectual, kind of like spiritual or something, and I think the image of those things could get conflated with, I don't know, some fantasy or something. It's like, not that it's like you can go anyway, use it, use it, use it. Whatever gets you in the door
Yeah, it doesn't. Yeah,
is fine, but it would come with different tricks, I suppose.
yeah,
Doesn't matter.
yeah, yeah. Like in addition to my foundation or the lay of the land that I just laid out, there also seems to be an aspect of I have a fantasy about being something, and that includes enlightened, right? You like come. I mean, for me, it was the martial arts dude on the hill, right? Like the old master who's on the mountaintop, who's seen everything, and he's like, whatever. He's like an enlightened martial arts master. Basically, you could sum it up like that, and then Ralston fit the bill for me as a young man. It's like,
Hmm.
yeah, that's the one. See, for somebody who's just going for straight enlightenment, I don't know what kind of image they might make up, but yeah. Right. The fantasy gets me in the door, but then at some point reality hits and it sucks. Or whatever. It's just not my beautiful image that I have that I think is going to do something for me. It never does. And then because I'm being honest, I'm trying to get what's true, and what's true is that fantasy will never finish the job.
Yeah, but
It can't. It's
it gets you in the door, it gets you
right.
serious, and I think it creates the openness. Peter talks about it in his book, Whereof One Cannot Speak. It's like Abdul's Camel.
Sure. Yeah, there's like a tool that gets inserted into the mix to keep you going, and then once you're on it, you can take the tool out and you've solved the problem. You don't need the tool
Yeah.
anymore. So it does seem to go like that. Um, which brings me to a gripe of sorts, but I want to frame up this gripe in the context of not telling people how to live, but exploring options of different ways to live, and then you decide for yourself. Of course, I'm heavily biased, but I wanted to bring up the gripe of the image of I've done all the spiritual workshops, right? So I can now sit down and meditate, and I'm so equanimous and calm and blah, 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 blah. And then I go, well, what good are you? So what? You can sit down. Can you build anything? Have you served anybody? Like, have you helped anybody else get more than what they've got? Like, have you helped promote humanity? If you're just using your spirituality to sit down and be cool, like, I think this is perhaps a stab at the bullshit that I see online, where the people, they sit down in Bali and they've got the beads and the perfect robes, and they're all like, oh yes, and I'm like, yeah, but as a human being, what did you build? What did you make? What did you create? Did you create something for people? I bet there's a reason why Jesus was a carpenter. At least he's useful.
Well, actually, it doesn't matter. People can sit there and be cool if they want and be useless, and they're going to die either way,
This
whether
is
they're
true.
useful or useless.
Yeah, this is
But
true.
but I think that there, it's not that somebody sitting down is a problem. It's not a fucking problem at all. But probably just chances are that most folks who are doing equanimity are actually doing a lot of self-deception,
Oh yeah, how
and
so?
and that and that they really do want to. I mean, I don't know. I mean, just check it out for yourself, because like that's also another assumption on my part. But if you're sitting down and you're being equanimous, but you're not really equanimous. You're
Right.
just
Then you're pretending to be
scared.
equanimous.
You're just scared of failure, or you're scared of success, or you're scared of blah 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 blah. Really, you want to go do something, and you're selling yourself short by sitting down a lot and telling yourself that you're equanimous and that it doesn't matter. Well, actually, you're damaging your own integrity. You're just not by my standards, but just by your own, because you've already told yourself that that's the thing that you want, and then you're like, yeah, but I'm equanimous. I don't like
You
I'm
mean
I'm
like being
enlightened now.
like saying like where's the lie? What do you mean? Can you explain where the
The
break
lie
is?
I think the lie for a lot of people is that they're really just trying to get out of doing the laundry.
Right. Yeah, like maybe if I'm enlightened, I'll just be totally free all the time. I won't have to do anything, something like that.
Yeah, like I literally won't have to work. I won't have to do this. I won't have to do that. I won't have to, whatever, some version of that, right? And
Yeah.
then it comes across for other people in probably your experience, I imagine, if you've met someone like that, it comes across as inauthentic. So it's not
Yeah.
personally that much fun to be around. And then secondarily, as a facilitator, you can see it's not fucking helping them get more conscious. It's actually a big hindrance. It's just a big barrier.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I literally I just went through this in a small way. I was going to read this book. I was going to do some little contemplation. I was going to do a little work.
Yeah.
I have a letter sitting in my inbox, my physical inbox. I need to go challenge. I need to go take care of. And I have
Who put that letter in here? What the fuck?
well, no, I did.
Oh.
And I had some dishes to do. Well, I was like, okay, yeah, I have, now's the time for me to do this contemplation stuff, but I've been doing other things, studying and everything all this morning. I need to attend to that box. I need to attend to that letter. Got to get that handled. Got to do the dishes. And I felt a fucking conflict. That's exactly the conflict. I chose to do the dishes and take care of the fucking letter.
Yeah.
Now the letter's done, and I have confirmation of it in my email.
Good.
Saved, and I got the water thing sorted out, and the dishes are done.
Yeah.
And now, if I want, I can go contemplate, but I don't even have to because I mean, who cares, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But anyway, I'm just saying, like, I think that's there. It's like it's people can use a spiritual identity or an enlightenment identity or a Chingshin identity if
Or
they
martial
want,
arts or whatever
whatever,
identity.
as a way to get out of doing shit that's actually calling to them or necessary for their survival, but it's fucking necessary for their survival,
Yeah.
and they know it, but they don't want to do it. And the other side, the flip side of that, is you might be somebody who has no openness to what's true, and you think you know everything, and you're not open at all, and you think it's just laundry, and fuck you, leave me alone. I've got laundry to do here. And
Sure. Yeah. At least the laundry will be done. But yeah, you bring up so there are these phenomena. Now, to be clear, my intent with bringing this up is I want to stand for powerful, functional human beings. Effective human beings. It's like consciousness and skill is part of what I'm up to, and skill is part of it, and also understanding the reality in which we live. And part of that is, hey, if you want a clean sink, you need to do the dishes. If you are pretending some spiritual pretense, then you will be pretending something. This is not being authentic. It's just not. And I want to support humans, us, me, in being more and more authentic and more aligned with what's true. So you should know that if you are doing shit like that, it's a fake. And there's consequences to faking it. And so if you want to be real, you got to be real. And this is just one place where I see this stuff you're talking about. So your choice, of course. But it is my hope that with us talking about it, we can shed some light on it, maybe poke fun at it a little bit, smash it down if it needs to be smashed down, but not, it's not saying you're a bad human being. Your being is not bad. You just might be doing dumb shit. You want a clean house, clean the fucking dishes. Oh, I'm a yogi. I'm enlightened. I'm beyond all that. Are you really? Come here. You see? That's why I like.
Yeah, or it might be something bigger than that. It might be like your who knows? You want to finish your college education. You want to get married. You want to build a house. You want to do this. You want to do that. It can be much more.
Sure.
It can be a much bigger project. Whatever.
Yeah, and it also is occurring to me. I'm sure in this day and age, most people who are doing spiritual shit, they probably got jobs, right?
Yeah.
Unless they're just wealthy. In which case it's comes with other stuff. Like we had this one kid out here, he came from a lot of money, had a car. He didn't have a super flashy car at the time. But I said, hey, you ever looked under the hood of your car? He said, no. I'm like, what? You never looked on it? Where's the battery? I don't know. What? How do you?
Yeah.
Oh, look, we had another guy around, and it was like, hey, did you change this hose? Can you see where to change it? No. And it was like, right. I'm like, it's right there. Okay. All right. So people need training. I guess that's for young men usually and young people.
Well, anybody who wants to have some control over what's going on in their world. And there's a lot of things that we take for granted because we can. There are a lot of systems that are set up as if for us.
Yeah.
And I'm really getting into Linux.
Right.
And it's amazing how much most people are on Windows, Mac. Most people are on Windows.
Yeah, it's already set up for us, right?
Yeah, it's set up for you, and it's terrible. It's slow. It's bloated. It doesn't allow you to have anywhere near as much freedom on your system as Linux does, or something similar. But you don't have to get into the terminal. You don't have to learn any commands. You can operate it by just clicking on predetermined options for you. And that's what it's sort of like opening up the refrigerator when you're a kid and the food is magically there.
Yeah.
And that's how Windows is.
Yeah, or OS. What blows my mind is sometimes, sometimes I'm a loner person in my mind, right? Like, oh yeah, people, blah, 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 right? I might poo-poo people. Seems to me, you see, I have some image of the world. The general state of the world is like people are just fucking stupid. They're dumb and whatever, right? But then if you ever want to get humbled by that, just take a look around at what did you actually make that you're using right now? Nothing. I mean, did I mill the wood that's used to build the building here? No. There's sheetrock on there. Did I make that? No. There's insulation there. Did I make that? No. There's wires in there. Did I make that? Did I discover the electricity? Nope. Did I build the power plants? Nope. Did I all the trinkets, the clothes? Did I get the wheat? Did I get the cotton from? You get where I'm going, right? Just take a look around at how much teamwork there is. It's insane. In order for you to have you're sitting in a house. I see all that stuff behind you. You made none of it. And there's a lot of stuff behind you. Do you have something back there? Come on, tell me there's something you made on there, right?
No,
No.
no. I earned some of those medals.
Right, he's earned some
That's the
medals, but
thing.
you didn't
I
make
earned
the
some
goddamn.
medals.
You didn't
I
make
didn't
the.
make them though.
And then I was thinking
They're
because
just
I'm
a representation of something that I did and is gone.
yeah, yeah, and like I mean I'm building a house and that's an accomplishment, but then as I'm building I'm like holy shit I got to have my hat off to the people that made the shit for me. Somebody made everything. I mean and or machinery or it's mind blowing.
You do make up a
Language.
lot of concepts though,
Yeah, I do, but where did I
and you're
learn them?
using those.
But where did I learn them? Language. I didn't invent English.
You don't have to invent English to make something. Like right now, go ahead and have a thought that you weren't going to have if I hadn't said this.
Well, now I'm like, is the thought that I'm going to have related to that or not? Yeah, okay. I can think of something, right? I think of an orange, but that's still something I didn't make.
Yeah, but you did. You
But
just
yeah,
thought of
sure,
that.
sure.
Someone
Okay,
else would
so
have thought of a Lamborghini or whatever. And,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
so like yes, so like
It's the
this
only thing
is
I can really feel like I'm making is thoughts.
no, of course not. But
Oh,
it's
that's
true. We
true.
don't
That's
we
true.
don't
That's
actually
true.
we don't
No,
actually make physical things as
we
human
rearrange
beings.
matter. You mean?
Yeah, we move stuff around for sure. We can organize it like incredibly, and we can make structures and systems, and that's all fantastic. But it's all made of stuff that's already here. It's already innate, you know.
Right.
So we don't get that. Women give birth, but they're not conscious of like making the baby. It's the baby
Right.
grows
In the
within.
body. Yeah, but women will talk about it as far as I can tell. Correct me if I'm wrong, ladies. Like I made that.
Yeah, and I mean, and I get that because a woman going through pregnancy is going through a long and very life-changing process.
Yeah.
So it's
Here we are, the men, talking about the intricacies of female pregnancy. Never went through it myself, but
well, I've been privy to I've been a close observer a couple
yeah,
times now,
yeah,
all the way through, and um, yeah, it's a big deal. I think that it goes it's at the top. It's at the top of what human beings can, how would I say, get involved with as if like a project, but it's completely organic and natural.
yeah,
But it's still for the human being, it's a big deal.
yeah. Oh, okay. I should go. There's somebody's going to be here in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
um,
How do we want to wrap this up?
well, are you available later today?
Possibly. I just got a let me check my schedule, Brendan.
No,
Have
yes.
my people call your people.
Yeah.
Um,
Yes.
what am I looking at? 9. Short. Let's do it for a little while. Um, yeah,
Okay.
just give me
Let
a
me
shout.
let me get these guys set up. I'll give you a shout. Stay tuned for part 2. We're talking about humans making things, inventions, but I'm sure we'll riff from there and we can close it out or whatever.
All right. Okay. Yeah. What's your gripe with being useless?
That's a good question because I think it's like, well, I can see potentially a few different things. One, when I see useless, it reflects on my own laziness and my own incapacities, and I don't like that part of myself.
Okay.
Perhaps. So it upsets me. It's hurtful, right? I experience pain about that. And I feel like the world that I'm looking at is I see people, and I had this when I was younger, the like, it's like an entitled, oh, I'm so good, like I'm good just existing, just because I can, I don't know, I've done spiritual work, like I'm special. It's like, no, dude, you can't even put up a fence. How special are you? Kind of thing. Like, hey, and what's my gripe with that? It's like, don't be an arrogant prick. I think is the
Mm.
gripe. It's like, don't be so high and you're not that high and mighty, you know. And why do I gripe with that though? It's like there's a, I don't know, when you look at somebody like that, they're just all high and mighty, but they've never actually done anything. They're what are they living as? I don't, it disgusts me, you know.
What about like Ramana Maharshi? He was a little boy, wandered into a crypt or something. Like I don't know the story of Ramana Maharshi. I've
Yeah.
never read about him. I've only heard about it from people who know about him. But it sounds to me like he never developed any skills at all,
Yeah, well, as
except
far as,
just probably being able to talk to people.
and he taught people. There's the skill. Yep.
Okay.
He's busy trying to help people, you know. But here's the story that I know, and then I'll give you my take on it. For whatever it's worth, it's my take. But it's like he's a boy, and then like I said, I'll give you my take. You take it for what it's worth. Had a massive breakthrough, and then he goes away, and they found him in a crypt just sitting there, apparently, letting bugs eat him. He didn't give a fuck. See? So to me, and then apparently what they did with him is they like, whoa, this kid must be special. So they cleaned him up and then forced him to teach. He probably had no interest in teaching. See, but he genuinely had no interest.
Yeah.
He
He
genuinely,
was.
as far based on the story, he genuinely didn't give a fuck if he probably, like, if he lived or died. He was probably free, like quite free. He's letting bugs eat his body. He didn't care. See, he genuinely didn't care. Okay. See, if you can sit down and you genuinely don't care and you're not playing up a spiritual fucking guru fantasy of, oh, yes, I'm wearing the robes and the beads and I'm sitting down, mimicking as if I don't care, but I really do care about my image, as opposed to, I don't have an image. I don't care if I die or if I live. It's irrelevant. This is a different ballgame to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so, what's the difference there? He might be, even say he was useless. He might just be useless, but he also doesn't care if he gets fed in this hypothetical. That's a different ball of wax. Like, who the okay, good. You're genuinely free. Cool. What's no problem.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
But then, as far as I can tell, what's he do with his life? Well, he's providing a service for others. He's teaching.
Yeah,
That's
other
a
people
service.
asked him to do it, and
Yeah,
he
and he did it.
might as well.
Yeah, but at least he's teaching. He's not just sitting there in his spiritual glory. You see, but spiritual glory, what's that? Like you assume is some good feeling. So what? You're just going to live in a good feeling? How do you do the dishes? You got to do, like even Ramana Maharshi had to get up and take a piss and take a shit. I think people miss that part. It's like he died and they wanted to save him, apparently. You know, cancer. He had cancer in his arm, and they go to the doctor. He said, why? I'm not going anywhere. See? See, like if you can genuinely, if that's real, then that's the tricky part. See, that was likely real for him. This other, it's easy to like make that up as a reality when it's not. So that's I guess that's part of my gripe. I don't know if that clears it up or not.
Yeah, no, I think it does. I think it does. I think I think it's far and away from what I and almost everyone I've ever met, if not everyone I've ever met, has experienced. It's like,
Yeah.
have I ever really been in a situation where for any substantial amount of time I was genuinely cool with everything? No.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, uh, no, I definitely avoid death
Yeah. Yeah.
and
And so
pursue stuff.
yeah. Yeah. And I guess my gripe and or my bringing it up aside from my own stuff is in service of others, because as a young man it was good for me to get slapped around a bit. It's useful to be smacked around so you're not so high and mighty, so you can be a better person, as far as something like that, a better human being or functional. So you don't think that your shit doesn't stink. Something like that. You get all high and mighty and you're all free, but then you go and eat dinner with your parents and you're a dick. Like, come on. See, you got work to do. You're not that special. You see, and I think it serves people to get that. Like, also in the business world, this is another place where I see people getting this kind of feedback, because it's like, yeah, I've got the coolest product. Yeah, is your business working? Yeah, nobody gives a shit about your cool product, do they? Why? Because nobody's buying. It's obvious. It doesn't matter what you think your product or service is if no one's buying. And then that you have a confrontation. Or like Gary Vaynerchuk, I really like him. He was talking about hiring. He's like, yeah, you think you're so good at hiring everybody. You might think you're good at hiring, but you're not. Same kind of, you're not that special. He's like, I just hired a guy for, an insane amount of money a year. Should have fired him. It's like you have to be humble enough to fire fast. But when you hire people, you're not, your ego's all involved. And I'm paraphrasing Gary Vaynerchuk, but like your ego's involved. And you go, I think I'm so good at this. And so when you hire the wrong person, you want them to stick around so that you can be good at hiring, but you're not. You hired the wrong guy. Fucking fire him. Get your ego out of the way. Same kind of, you get slapped around in business too. See, or like, that's why I like stuff like building things. Because just the other day I was building something. Motherfucker, I couldn't cut a straight line for the life of me. I'm trying to build some nice shelves, like decent shelves. And like, I'm getting humbled by a goddamn piece of wood. I'm like, come on. I'm getting mad at the wood. What the fuck? The tools. What the fuck? You see, come on. It's like, Jesus. See, that's the skill, the confrontation with skills. Or like, you told me about rolling with some kid. He's like 17 or something like that. But he's a monster.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Okay.
you run into that and you're like, I'm good at martial arts, right? And then you run into something like that. It's like, holy fuck. See, and I think that shit's good. Because then, or like Bruce Lee got smoked by Wong Jackman. You think Bruce Lee won that fight? He didn't. But look what it did for him. He changed his whole fighting style. He did Wing Chun up until that point, and then after Wong Jackman took him apart, he learned how to kick. He learned all these new skills. There was an explosion of stuff. See, it's like, it's good.
What do you think the relationship is between skill and consciousness and freedom?
Right away, I hesitate to answer questions like that, because when it say, what do you think the relationship is? As soon as I can make relations, we can make relations to things. So I'm like, okay. Now,
all right, what's the relationship for you then?
And there are some things there is relation, like you on planet Earth, there is a relationship between a planet and the fact that objects do that. Say again, what's the relationship between?
Yeah, the relationship between consciousness, skill, and freedom.
Well, I can see that there is a relationship there. There seems to be, at least every time I've seen it in myself, others. When there's an increase in consciousness, there is an increase in freedom. Now, freedom does not mean like I get what I want. It's like free to have or not have. That's free. I can have it or not have it. That's free. There seems to be a lightness, I'm free from what I thought was the case. Something, whatever. See, so there does seem to be a relational, like that just as a byproduct. You get conscious, you're more free. I do not see a relationship between freedom and skill, but skill and a feeling of power, perhaps, sure. Where, like, if I have skills in boxing or something like that, it's like I have a feeling of I can do that. Okay, I got that. Other stuff where I don't know what I'm doing, I don't. It's there's a lack of confidence. Ergo, if you look at confidence, I don't know, what is that? It's like a feeling of I can do it. Really?
Yeah,
See?
basically.
So there's like this feeling. Well, how do you get that feeling? Well, you get good at it. You get really good at it. You're like, okay. See, so there does seem to be a relationship between skill and, say, like skill and power, perhaps, or skill and a internal feeling of esteem, self-esteem tends to go up in that area. Those do seem to be consequences. Mm-hmm. See, but in terms of, if I were to draw any relationship between being conscious and having more skills, being conscious, as far as I can tell, does not mean that you're going to automatically get skills. But being conscious does seem to allow a certain kind of openness so that I could learn differently, more powerfully perhaps, or in different ways that somebody who's not conscious does not have, would be my guess. Mm. See, it's like that kind of openness, like, if you think your mind exists, you are a certain way, reality is a certain way, and it's fixed, you will only think in those terms. And it seems to me, if I get conscious of some things, it tends to break that open. It's no longer fixed. It's no longer the way I think it is. So now I can look a different way, upside down ways, loop-de-loop ways, like think in no ways at all, but think like different way, or think in a domain that's not thinking, whatever, like different possibilities become available. I would say there seems to be a relationship between getting conscious and like that. But if you want the skill, you still have to train the damn thing. That's the hard part. You got to put the work in. I don't see any skill anywhere that somebody's not put in work, and lots of it, if you want to be good. But, yeah.
I like it, I don't like it. That's a concept.
What?
I like it, I don't like it. I like it, I don't like it.
This is appearing to me like a non sequitur. Can you explain? What?
Oh, I'm getting better at non sequiturs, I gotta tell you.
Great. Squirrel.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, I like it, I don't like it. I don't know why I have a sequitur. We were talking about inventions earlier.
Yeah, I wanted to bring it back to that. Yeah.
And
go ahead.
And while I was doing the dishes, that occurred to me. I was doing the dishes, and there was just little moments of, this part I like, this part I don't like.
Yeah.
It was 100% conceptual.
Yeah, there's an invention for you.
Yeah, it's an actual invention, and you get to make it all day. You just don't get paid for it unless you're really good at, like, being like a film critic or something.
Yeah. Or I mean, I'm reminded of the workshops. It's like in there, Peter writes that our inventions, our most powerful inventions, aren't objective; they're conceptual.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And if you, I mean,
Fucking math, man.
yeah,
Like there's
math.
some objects on my desk and I can't just look at them and tell you how many there are. I have to count them. And I can do it really fast. My desk is a little cluttered at the moment. But I have to do this mathematical thing in order to know that. And I get that I can look at the presence of objects and without math get the difference between like 1 and 2 and 2 and 3. But after a certain point, I can't get the difference
Can't.
anymore.
Yeah.
And
Say
I
we
think that's where
stop around 5.
animals are right there. They're like in the same spot. Like they just don't have the math thing. They can get the difference between 2 and 3.
Yeah.
Like they can definitely do that, but it gets up to a certain point and there's no they just can't distinguish it anymore, and they don't have language. They don't have a reference. And with math, we can even represent infinity. We can't conceive of infinity, but we can represent it and in useful ways.
Yeah. Yeah, and apparently I just was scrolling the social media stuff. I heard a video. Apparently, the way that they discovered either Neptune or Uranus was because there was a planet that had an orbit that they measured, but then at a certain place it didn't make sense mathematically.
Mm.
And they're like,
Mhm.
the only reason that this is like this is because there needs to be something right here acting upon it. And then when they looked right there, they found a planet.
Wow.
Like, and I can't remember which planet that was. Anyway, see, there you go. That math.
Yeah.
Math did that. Like, that's interesting. Or, yeah, I have an agenda, but I heard a story. I hope this is true. I think it was. Is that there were some flat earthers that invested a lot to like measure the earth or something like that, but then ended up finding out after all their measurements that the earth was actually round.
Good. That's probably good for
Is
them.
that true? Is that true? Yeah, I hope they got it. Let me see. Earth is round. I want to just see. Because I would really love to shoot some flat earthers into space.
Mm.
Oh, it's apparently in a notable, according to AI, so who knows, apparently in a notable 2018 documentary, Behind the Curve, prominent flat earthers accidentally proved the earth is curved while conducting a high-cost experiments to prove the opposite. These experiments, featuring expensive technology and community-led tests, produced results consistent with a spherical earth, though many participants refused to accept the findings.
Oh. That's a group of people I have not yet hung out with.
Yeah, me neither.
I wonder what that's like. I know there was this YouTube guy called All Gas No Brakes, and he would go to the most crazy conventions, like flat Earth conventions and furry conventions and some really out there Trump conventions and stuff like that. And he would just talk to the most insane people. You want to see some wild beliefs and assumptions about things. And he would never tell them they were wrong. He was just there to like interview them and show.
Interesting.
Just show it to the world, and people were more than happy to, give him the spiel. Yeah.
Yeah, and those are inventions. Like they're. How did we do that the first time?
With language?
Say a belief. At one point, there was no believing. But then at some point, somebody did the first belief.
Comes after language.
Has to, right? Is that, well, no, is that true?
Yes.
Why?
It has to.
Or is that a
Because
belief?
you've got to have representation. Like you have to have representation. Like
Can I?
you can have memory.
Yeah.
So, but even that's representation. So, like you can believe that there's like a tree on the other side or a rock on the other side of that tree because you saw it there and you remember it
Yeah.
and you have that like sort of in like your mental map. So like you can have that kind of belief
Right. That's what, so
about it.
maybe that's like a precursor. Like there
Yeah,
has to
but
be
like
the, like if I have the image, say I go outside, there's a tree, I come back inside, I'm inside, and I go, there's a tree out there without really, say it's no language. We're like way caveman times, kind of more animal, like a knowing of that there. But then it's actually not there. Say wind came and knocked it down, but I still have a knowing of that there. That would be like but it's not there. You see, I just know it there,
yeah,
like a
then you
memory.
would yeah, and
So
you would mark the difference, and it would have some sort of register for you that it was
right, but
different.
then that would be more like a mistake. Like, oh well, it's actually not there. I just think it's there, but it's not.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have any of that. I think it's there. It's not. It would
R-
just be like map without the word map, and then like,
right.
boom, and there would be like an impact, like on your nervous system. There would be like an impact.
If I verified it, I'd go, oh,
Yeah, it's sort of
not
like when you pick up you know
something that's not. You
something
think it's
you
heavy,
think is
but it's
heavier
not.
than it is,
Yeah.
and it surprises you. It'd be like that. It'd be like surprise.
Yeah.
So
Perhaps. I
yeah,
think
it's like
that's a component. There has to be the image of what it is,
yeah, but then
but it's not a
with
belief yet. The way we are talking
yeah,
about
with
belief.
representation, we can do so much more. With representation, we can do so much more. We can have really, really sophisticated versions of that.
But still, the first. So what is that?
It's the representation stands in for objective reality. It stands in for I'm not accessing objective reality. I'm accessing my representation.
It stands in for true or real.
Yes. Yes. And that's often extremely practical, but it can
Sure.
get us into really, really big trouble.
Right. Like right now, it's real to me that the earth is round. That's a belief because I have no experience, but it's a strong stand in. Like Peter makes some distinctions in types of beliefs. There are some beliefs that we can say, okay, these are like provable. Like we can stand
Yeah.
on these ones. Like the earth is round. We do stand on that. Whatever.
Really.
Oh.
Did.
But then there's this other, like all the bullshit. And so, but what is that? Again, it's like you've seen the martial arts MMA guy in China who
Mm-hmm.
gets the traditional martial artist to fight him and then he just fucking wrecks him, which I
Yeah.
love, by the way. Have you seen videos of this guy?
Yeah, I've seen stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Great, good. I think all those hoity-toity martial artists need that. Or I saw some video of a Aikido guy talking about Aikido. Like, yes, it's the best form of real defense and da da da. And then I think they show the same guy grappling with a BJJ guy.
Yeah, so that's a belief about their own ability, their own hype, and their own identity. But
Right.
belief is conceptual. It's a representation of something, and it can't be anything else. Like it's got to be there, and it's got to be one with
What kind of
unconsciously or not.
what kind
It's
of
got
a
to
representation? You say because it is a representation. I believe I'm an Aikido master.
yeah
I believe I'm good and
Yeah,
Aikido is blah.
Aikido's good. I'm good. I'm good at Aikido. I'm an Aikido master.
And with the image comes the it's real, it's true.
Yeah, if you really believe it.
And that doesn't come like an image. There's no image of real or true. It's assumed. The image is whatever the image is.
Yeah.
It's weird
Have
that
you
like
ever,
real
I
and
mean,
true
you made
doesn't have
believe
it.
as a kid, right? You played games,
Yeah.
make believe as a kid, or you watch a movie and you forget that it's not real?
Yeah.
Like you just get absorbed into the movie, you forget that it's not real? Well, we're doing that all day long, every day about everything all the time, and we're forgetting that it's not real because it's mostly useful and it's
Yeah, okay. So
self-validating.
right. So then that's my next question then. What's the experience of just believing something but not people kill each other over beliefs they obviously don't get. They just think it's real.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's true enough that you can like, bet money on it and win money. Or you can believe something, you can be like, I think there's a pretty good chance that this is the case and it saves your life or someone else's. But you don't know. I mean, I'm sure you could think of a million different ways that can be the case. I'm not saying that it makes it any more real, but I'm saying that it's useful. So like it's very useful for a human being to be able to consider as if alternative worlds, because they can as if live out those possibilities before actually living them out. So that's why
Yeah.
you consider things from this side, and then you take action. Even
Yeah.
better if you talk to other people about it, because then you can hash it out and dissolve things. But I think maybe what you're talking about is this tendency to believe things dogmatically and to not check them out,
Yeah.
and
And then I
to really
also
refuse any kind of evidence that they might be wrong, and really
there's
like
that.
kind of stick to them, hold on to them. And
Yeah.
I think that's because we are very, very ignorant of or completely ignorant of our true nature, because we can't see ourselves, we can't feel ourselves. We can't. So what are we left with? Making up for that ignorance with belief about ourselves, and it's nestled in there. It's in that identity stuff.
So it
I think that's
seems
where
there's
the
a
beliefs get.
yeah, because I was noticing one aspect. What I was noticing, it seemed like you were talking about the utility of beliefs, which I'm not refuting at all. It's like, yeah, very useful. And then yes, there is this phenomenon of believing shit because I have an interest in serving other people with this podcast. So it's like that believing shit gets in the way. So I want it gone. But then if I throw that away and I get curious, it's like, yeah, we can believe stuff and then not know we're believing it. And we're really addicted to it. Like it's just, we're up our asses about believing this, that, and the other thing and making shit up. But then also, yeah, you bring up the point. There's a lot of ignorance, I suspect, and I've heard Peter talk a little bit like this. It's like it comes from part of it the impetus to do it is somehow that we find ourselves in an unknown world. You know, you're shot out of a vagina. You don't know anything. And then we get language, we start applying knowing to everything. Now we know stuff, but that we didn't know. We don't know shit about shit doesn't change. It doesn't change the base, is that we actually don't know.
Yeah,
And
we
for
have a
some
lot of
reason, we
language to
find that
describe that
intolerable.
which we don't know. Yeah, so why is it intolerable?
Right. I think we made that, I would call that like original sin. Well, actually, no. If I have an original sin, but we can leave that out for now. I would say this is one of our cosmic whoopsies. I think we pulled a whoopsie. Peter mentions this, and then I had to look, and I'm like, oh yeah, I did the same thing. It's like that at the core of your being, you don't know. Like we've had some consciousness, like John and I have both had some direct consciousnness, highly recommended, by the way. So it helps. It fucking blows the mind. But there's still shit I'm ignorant of. Like what is all existence? What's the nature of everything? See, there's like a right? And we live, if you look and you actually find out what's there, you'll find out you have no idea. And there's like so much not knowing, it's freaky. But then why do we make it wrong? Why is it wrong? Oh, well, survival.
Yeah.
Because I
Knowing
gotta
is
know stuff
knowing is
so I can make
knowing
sure that I
what
keep
keeps you
going.
alive, especially for a human.
Yeah, knowing's a big deal. But not say barring that, like why? But then why make it a bad? Say just culturally, is bad.
Yeah, I think it compounds. I think it compounds. I think it's almost like mathematical. Like it doesn't mean it's going to free you of it. You get down into it, but I don't think that we can. I don't think it's useful to blame ourselves for this. It's like computers have only been around in a major way for a handful of decades. And already there's more code written than I could conceive of, than anyone could conceive of.
Hmm.
And it hasn't been around for the majority of human history. It's been here for just a speck. But infrastructure upon infrastructure upon infrastructure is built on what they call legacy code that fewer and fewer people can read. And we
Okay.
can't
Have you
do
read the
without it.
Have you read the Foundation?
Well, I'm learning about it, but this is
No, no,
just.
no. I mean, have you read the book, The Foundation series
Oh,
by
no, no,
Isaac
no,
Asimov?
no. Oh, no, sorry. Read the Foundation. No, I thought you mean like read the foundation of code. I'm like, what do you mean? Like zeros and ones? What are you talking about?
Yeah, I've read anyway. I just a quick sidebar, and then I'm curious about what you're saying. Is like the premise is there's a galactic empire, right? So there's this main planet, and they built stuff so well that it has lasted generations, enough generations for people to forget how
Yeah,
they built it.
yeah,
And then
yeah, yeah, yeah.
shit starts to break down, but there's nobody alive who remembers how it was built, how it was constructed, and then this guy predicts there's going to be a galactic decline. There's going to go chaos. We're going to go back to the dark ages for like 30,000 years. So he figures out this thing that if I take the smartest people that I can find, I send them over here to the other end of the galaxy with a directive. The whole thing is going to collapse, and these guys will be coming up, and instead of 30,000 years of dark ages, we'll have 1,000. But it's like, anyway, the
Nice.
premise is like that. So anyway, go ahead. What about the source code?
Well, no, I mean that actually expresses beautifully my problem with Windows.
Okay, please explain.
Well, Windows and other operating systems like it are designed so that they seem extremely convenient for the end user, and the end user doesn't need to have any understanding of what's going on under the
Right.
hood. In fact, the damn thing is sealed off so that you can't access the source code that actually writes it.
Yeah.
And this is totally different from other philosophies regarding software, what they call open source,
Yeah.
or it means that you can access the code, you can look at it, you can look at what's under the hood.
Yeah.
And the philosophy behind it is, instead of trying to build the perfect machine that handles all cases that you could possibly want in advance, instead, it's to build very simple, transparent, clear, modular, small programs that somebody can learn about quickly and start to assemble for themselves in ways that make sense for their lives, because guess what? They probably know more about what they need than some designer somewhere else. And that philosophy is completely different. And that's giving power, sharing power along with responsibility to users generally. I really like this philosophy. The more that I learn about it, and the more that I see it implemented, and we're kind of in a world where everything is on this continuum, where as human beings we're concept generating beings, and like every concept that you learn you also generate. It's happening in the same time in the same place. So it's like, yeah, I learned that, but I learn it by generating it, by mimicking it, by having it, by creating it, so to speak. Is like what we do. I don't know how we do it, but we do it.
Yeah.
But then we do it in such a way where it follows the conventions and the traditions and the legacy of the ages and the past. And that's useful, because if we don't do that, then we're having to create everything for the first time, and we never make any progress, so to speak. But it
Yeah.
can become calcified and obtuse and difficult to perceive, and maybe and we take it for granted and we just assume it. And these things just kind of build up like plaque on the teeth when they don't get brushed and there's no fluoride.
Well, let me
And
challenge a little bit, or bring another point, because that's also conceptual.
I have to
Like
be able to
the
describe it to you conceptually. How else am I going to get
no
it across?
what I mean is the build up and the direction, like culture, for example. There are other types of concepts that are deeper. Cultural norms. We don't
Yeah.
we don't see these as concepts. It's just a culture.
Like that a self exists,
Sure, that
or a
that is
mind
also right,
exists.
right, right. These are
I'm
other.
over here, you're over there kind of
Yeah, it
stuff.
gets even worse, because that's you want to go foundational with
Yeah.
stuff, right? Like there's also foundational concepts that we live within. But it's so
But maybe stuff that's less
challenging.
less foundational than that, but still really culturally foundational, like there is absolute good and evil, like God and the devil. Like that even for people that are atheists, many people, even if they say they don't hold that to be true, they do.
Right, it's still good and
Because when
bad.
they fucking are in a life threatening situation, they pray. They pray to God.
Sure.
A
Yeah, sure.
lot of people, like
Sure,
there's a
some
saying
people
like there
have.
are no atheists in war. It's like people pray.
Yeah.
It's like try actually dropping that, at certain times. Um
So I don't know why I brought that up, because you were talking about source code and stuff, and then cultural stuff, and I wanted to bring up that culture is also conceptual. And then I thought of a saying, something from Peter that is also from somebody else too. It's like we're standing on the shoulders of giants. Like where we are today is because of, Newton made discoveries in gravity, water displacement discoveries, math discoveries, like all light bulb, car, combustion engine, refrigeration, electricity. We're living on top of that, all kinds of stuff with metallurgy. And so there's
yeah.
all this groundwork, nuclear power, all this groundwork has been laid. It's like we're standing on the shoulders of giants. And then Peter adds, yeah, but we're looking in the same direction as they look. See, it's like it's in a certain direction.
Mm.
See, so it's like, now how could we make breakthroughs in other directions? There's a good challenge.
Well, I think Peter's giving it a whirl with this book here.
Yeah,
He's
I bet he
trying
is.
to think
Pick
he's
up a copy of Whereof One Cannot Speak.
yeah.
Yeah.
I got to get going.
All right, man. Sounds
Yeah.
good. I've enjoyed our talk today. I hope we've entertained you. Come join. Actually, okay. You're always invited to join a workshop. If you want to get involved, we do have a community online. It's on School. I'll leave a link in the description. Come check it out. Might be something, if you resonate with our talks here, might be something worth your while. You're invited. Otherwise, have a fantastic day.
Cheers.
Bye.